on Twitch and in session, and we have a lot of people, some people with us at least, and the audio should be working. Could somebody say something intelligent?
Something
Intelligent.
It sounds like very intelligent. So I'm going to share my screen, and you can start drawing on the screen and say hi to the people. Yes, right. That was abstract art, to say the least. Looks good. So there was this, when I was a kid, my father used to play this game with us. Somebody just randomly drew something, and then you were supposed to do like a draw a person or a portrait out of that, you know. Oh, somebody's playing tic-tac-toe. Yay, good stuff. Oh, now I can't. Okay, no. All right, I don't know what's going on. Anyways, so I was thinking that today we would go over. See, my computer already died on me. It's ridiculous. Anyway, I was thinking that today we can go over some of the stuff that we already covered in this session, in the sessions, right? So let's see if we can pull up the old presentation that we did before. Okay, good. I thought you would type CK after the FU, and I was like, no. I was worried. I was really worried there for a second. Let's see. Let's pull this up on screen and see if we can. Right. So you think you were first and second? No. Then I would just say null. Right. Let's see what we can find here. Okay, -1. Now we're talking. Absolute -1. Then I can't really type that. Share devices. Let's just try to. Is my iTunes doing something for me now? iTunes. YouTube. Jesus Christ, guys. Okay, so where is my? Here it is. Agile.
Are you all able to write with your touchscreen or your pen or something? Because you're not doing this with the mouse.
With the mouse, they're doing that with their mouse.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've got the stupid laptop touchpad.
I'm doing it with my touchpad. So you just press down the button and you draw.
All right, you guys are more skilled. No, I mean, I can draw, but I mean, they were drawing nice shapes before now.
I will turn this off if you don't.
we are artists, you know.
Right. Okay, I'm turning this off. This is way out of hand.
Too much.
No, I'm kidding. I will not turn this off. Let's see. So we spoke about the curriculum. Fun the web. Who did this? That was cool. Right. Where's the curriculum? We had a curriculum somewhere here. Roadmap. Right. So let's talk about let's talk about the curriculum. Right. We did cover some web technologies in the beginning and programming fundamentals, and we spoke about Agile and did an introduction to automated tests. If you guys remember that. we spoke. I know that we spoke about E2E testing at some point fairly early on in the process. So we should be able to locate that. Tesla was asking when that was happening, but that shouldn't be a big problem for us to find, to be honest. Now, I know that um, we have a repository of all the recordings somewhere here. So there's supposed to be 26 videos, but I don't think we have uploaded like this is today's thing, and I'm trying to be thorough. I missed one, so I'm gonna have to find that recording and upload it. But here we don't see the titles of the recordings it's themselves. So one way to do that would be to navigate to YouTube and try to find them. But I can try to access them from my YouTube studio. And see if that will help me in any way. Let's see. So we go to YouTube Studio. But while that is loading, let's just see. So we spoke a little bit about Node.js, but not much so far. So we were supposed to do a little bit of theory on databases. And what do you guys think? Would you how important is theoretical stuff for you at this stage? Like if we talk about SQL, so structured query language, and creating and accessing databases, what would you say about, is that important for you? Well, we're getting no. And
So not from me.
Tassilo says it's interesting. Anya
Yeah, for me,
Castras.
I don't think that I'm just there yet, to be honest.
Okay.
Maybe a quick overview.
Yeah, I think I'm always interested because I've heard a lot about SQL, and I'm definitely interested in hearing about it. I'm just not sure if I would be able to use it in a practical way anytime very soon.
Right. So from, like, usually when I introduce SQL or a bit of theory on databases, which is, I mean, I do for my students I do very very simple overviews, but we do that in that as a preparation for actually building some backend systems, some APIs. Um, and we haven't really covered that so much. We mainly stayed in the front end. We did a little bit, when we spoke about networking, but not much else. So this entire thing, SQL, Node.js, Ruby on Rails, building APIs, uh, uh, is not really, we haven't really been covered yet. But we did jump over to some fun stuff, right? We did jump into WebSockets and build that chat thing. So that was cool. We haven't talked at all about RESTful APIs, this three-tier architecture and model view controller, which is a theoretical thing, quite theoretical actually, but needs to be understood if you want to work professionally, of course, or if you want to gain a deeper understanding of what's going on. So that is still ahead of us, I guess. We haven't touched upon GraphQL and nothing about React Native. So React Native is really hard to demonstrate. Uh, it's fairly easy to get into, but it's very hard to run demos online for me at this stage. I'm gonna have to do it from my office. I can't do it here. Uh, and then we talk about payment providers. Um, so out of these things, if we, so Castras, if I ask you, of the things that we are listing on this slide, which ones would you say are most interesting for you? And I will take notes on that. So
Most interesting for me on this slide.
once again,
All of it.
okay. Well,
No, but yeah, I think I watched this one and I was there.
WebSockets. Yeah, you were in the WebSockets. We were building that chat application. You remember?
Yeah. These two here and this here especially is interesting to me, but I'm not sure if it's
DevOps. Okay. And then the GraphQL, React Native, and Stripe you mentioned too, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And this also.
Right. Security, of course. Right.
And this.
Okay,
So-
it's enough. Enough. Okay, actually, I can show you some disability. Okay, and Tassilo, your thoughts?
Well, for the sake of the project, working on legacy code sounds the best, but I personally would be most interested in secure applications and accessibility. And from the rest, a lot I don't understand really. Elasticsearch, 3-tier, and MVC, I don't understand these words. React Native sounds interesting. GraphQL also. And actually, maybe I don't know if Elasticsearch is it, but I think maybe one topic what also could be interesting, what I'm also super interested is, and I think it's also pretty important, is like all these applications like Instagram, Facebook, they're using like how they make this that the data that what you see is personalized. I wonder in what field this would be, but maybe this could be also an interesting topic.
Yeah. It's a whole science on how to do that, of course. But actually, Elasticsearch can play a role. Elasticsearch is a search engine, basically. So use your you can use you can index your database in a specific way, and you can access that information. Hello, Marble Wharf. Good to have you with us. But yeah, okay. And as I said, RESTful, 3-tier MVC. These are really theory-heavy architectural topics that you need to be really interested in order to digest them, but you also have to have a little bit of practical experience, and that is mostly, in my opinion, a backend stuff. And we haven't touched much upon backend yet. And also, if we talk about GraphQL, that is also, in my opinion, a topic that would require at least a basic understanding of how APIs, or not APIs, but how databases work and how you query databases, but also in a way, since GraphQL came about to, well, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but it came about as an alternative to REST. So you have to kind of understand REST before you can really see the benefits of GraphQL. I don't know if that actually makes sense, but I would argue that this is also this is a very advanced topic. Yeah. So yes, but I hear you. Legacy code, definitely. Definitely legacy code. Anya, your thoughts?
Sorry, I'm always watching on Twitch, so I have to change tab and unmute myself.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I'm also interested more in working on legacy code. And then, to be honest, I'm not sure what I would really need, like in the medium term. But what could interest me is a little glimpse into React Native, GraphQL, um, and I'm actually like Tassilo. I've heard that, REST and MVC. I've heard those words. I think I would be interested to know more about it, but I don't even really exactly know what it is. But yeah, I've heard so often REST API and stuff that in the meantime, I'm very curious about that.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. And Carl?
So I'm interested in GraphQL and so the secure applications and accessibility. I think you even mentioned that you had someone in mind that you know who could tell us about accessibility or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm working on that to get some people in as extra lectures. It's always hard to synchronize so they can come in at the right time and day, which was it's actually on my talking list today to see if we get some external speakers, if we can uh, shift from Thursdays to another day if necessary. Do you understand? I don't know how you guys are, um, how you plan your weeks and so on, but I've had, 7:30 on a Tuesday or a Thursday has proven for some reason to be a hard day to book people. So if we have another day, would you be open to reschedule? Anyone?
It's good for me if we get some heads up,
Mhm.
like a few days or maybe a week. Then I would be no problem
Okay.
any day of the week.
Okay. Cool. All right. Okay. So, so I know, I'm going to try to formulate the rest of the talks. We this is talk. I mean, this is session 12, and we have 18 talks altogether, right? All 18 sessions. So there are a lot of opportunity for us to go through these kind of. I mean, a lot of the things that we set out to do. So I can definitely fit that in. Cool, awesome. Uh, Now, I was thinking that today, after we have spoken about these things, if I can, I would like to take on uh, take on take on a feature or something and try uh, to go through that to write a little bit of tests, do a little bit of refactoring perhaps, and try to work on some sort of code that is related to the project that we're working on, uh, and perhaps that would help you guys in terms of uh, right, okay, in terms of getting started with actually writing or covering the application with tests. How does that sound? I guess, should I interpret those? Good, hearts, okay, that's a positive sign. So let's see if we can pop open the terminal here, and see if my computer will obey me today or not. And cd agile ventures, and then what was it, send, right, send client, and then git status, that, oh, git status shouldn't be anything there, right, git checkout master, no, is it main or is it master? Main, is it? Okay. Right, so git pull upstream main. We should get the latest code. That was quite a few things, and then we're gonna do npm install, and now the shit will hit the fan. As usual. Right, Slack. I was just about to quit Slack. I can't quit Slack. Right. So let's see. What do we should have something in the Zen Hub repo. Zen Hub. There we go. Right, we can put this down here. Right. Slow. It's like back in the 90s. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Come on. Okay. So one thing that was one of the things that we, so let's talk about was the internationalization, but there are other things in sprint backlog. There's a lot of things in progress. Let's see, updated README and onboarding process, update README. Are these something that needs to be reviewed and merged, or what's going on with these two?
Yes, I created the pull request, and it's not anymore work in progress.
Okay. Did anybody review Tassilo's pull request?
I think I didn't even add a review, maybe.
Okay. Right. So, Anja, are you working on this open dialogue from Redux Store?
Not at the moment, no. But actually, Tassilo wrote that he made already quite a lot of progress in the background regarding this, thanks to tips from Mirsad. So yeah.
Okay.
But I
So
think actually maybe that would even make a lot of sense if you say like refactoring and writing tests, and this would be in the focus. Then I think the dialogue is actually if it like a component which is quite complex, where refactoring might be actually quite interesting to see how you would approach that.
okay. And is there a branch that somebody started to work on this, or where?
Yes, I did the branch, but I think I actually only changed within the Redux actions something. So I just moved the backend to the front end. But in the component itself, everything is the same.
Okay. And so let's have a look what this is about. So before I make a call, if I want to work on this. So far, the dialog boxes are reacting to any change in props. We want them to only react to the central state change of type open scream. We will start with the scream dialog.js logic and spread it when done. we intend to do the same refactor on the project. Okay, whatever that is, with open ready and the opens. Okay. So, right. Okay. Open dialog from. And what component is this?
The
Oh, Scream
component.
dialog. Okay, here it is. Okay. So no progress at all at this point. There's no specific no specific branch or anything created by anyone on. You said you created a branch, but what sort of changes did you make, Tassilo?
So I moved the Firestore connection from Node.js to React. So I moved it from the backend to the Redux actions file. So actually, if we would be working on a new branch on the Scream dialog, then I could just move at the end the Firestore connection into this branch too. So I think it doesn't matter.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. At the let's go for that. Let's go for that. Git push origin main. Okay. So legacy code. We're gonna work on refactoring some stuff. So the first thing I want to do, if I approach a new story like this, of course, is to read through the documentation, and I'm very happy that I have some people with me so I can ask, because I don't really understand what I'm supposed to do yet, but it will probably um, come to me. So the first thing is, of course, to check out a new branch, and I will just go with open dialog dialog from Redux, and I will just give it. Actually, I can give it a number of the. Which one is this? This is 100. So okay, I can just for identification, I can just give this a number here. All right. And then let's open this up in my code editor and hope that works properly. Well, it doesn't seem to be working properly, but we'll see. It's okay. We should be able to do that. Thank you. Right. And so right, so I'm just gonna go to Cypress integration, and I'm gonna open up a new file, and so Scream. So was it Scream dialog? Dialog is opening on when is it supposed to open? When something is what is happening?
On card click, or like on the Scream card click.
Card click. Right. Sure. Right. .js. We're gonna rename this later because this is not a good name. Describe. Oh fuck, that isn't right. Okay. So let's just add a before block, and we're just gonna do ci visit the root path. Do I need to be logged in or anything like that? Is that
No.
necessary? No. Okay.
No, but I think we have to add the cookies set. I can copy it and post it in the
the cookie set. Right. Well, okay, you're gonna have to tell me what that is. Where are you gonna post it?
Here in Slack.
Okay.
Give me a minute.
Okay. Right. Right. Okay, and then there was something about right. So we probably want to run this. And this is Jan Cypress. Let's see if that works. We're starting the server.
So I posted it in the group.
Cookie settings all. Okay, set cookie settings all. So we need to do right. Right. So that cookie needs to be set on in the browser, of course, right? On before. So we need to do that on before load. So we need to pass in an object, and we need to say on before load like this. I guess that's how you do it. And then we just want to do cookie settings. And right, all. And is that something that you are setting with your app, or why is that?
So I'm triggering 2 pop-ups to be shown when users first come in to the page.
Okay.
And as like we would have to trigger like close pop-up and then close second pop-up.
And that is called cookie settings, and then all means that all settings have been set, right? But so
Yes.
why is it, so I understand, why is it a capital C and then an underscore on it?
I just called it like that.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So camel case, yeah, okay. It's okay. I just wanted to know. Usually you don't want to call camel case. I mean capitals with snake case notation, but that's what it is. Let's see. It needs to start the server, and that takes forever for me. So I can close this one. So let's just assign myself to this as well. Right. And now I can close this browser window. Right. It needs to spin up. It needs to spin up.
Maybe in the meantime we can talk about the component itself, or is that necessary, or do you think?
I don't know. We can talk about it. We can talk about it. Where are the components? They are probably in source and components, right? No?
Yes, and then Scream.
Right. And that would be the Scream or Scream dialog?
Well, the trigger to open the Scream dialog is in Scream, but it's just an onclink function. and but this on-click function is connected to Redux
Oh my.
to a global state.
Right. Right. Right.
158.
Okay. Push scream ID this props open scream ID props open scream. So this guy receives open scream from whoever, or no, where is open scream defined then?
In the Redux folder in Actions.
Okay, because you're binding them to scream to okay. Right. Yes. Okay. Right. So we need to go to actions.
The folder is called Redux.
Right. Actions and
Data actions.
data actions. Oh my fucking god. Yes. Okay. I see. I'm sorry. I just. Oh. Right. Uh.
It's
Right.
already starting to become smaller.
Huh?
But when the merge of my branch is done, then this is a lot smaller.
Okay. Okay.
I think it should
So
be in 100.
it's called open scream, I guess, or open. Yeah, open scream. Okay, let's. Right, this here it is. 236, right? Dispatch loading UI. Dispatch open scream. Right, new path. New path scream ID. History. Window history. Push state. Null. Right, new path. So you navigate to. That's it. Is this? Is this React? Uh, React navigation. What is it called? React router thing, or what is this?
Yeah, I guess I've been using it because I saw it, but I didn't quite. I think there's different possibilities or ways to do it, but this is just setting the path in the URL.
Okay. And what is the null doing here? What did these two arguments?
I think you can push states also into.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, exactly. So because this is more about pushing state and not really navigating this. Okay, but I got it. Well, I think I got it. And then so you push to that path, you navigate to that path, and then you're making an Axios call to this Scream ID, and then you get this, and then you dispatch set Scream, and you dispatch stop loading UI, and you set this, and you dispatch window location. This long. Okay, catch. Okay, then you're catching errors. Okay. All right. Pum padum padum pum padum. Right. So I'm just gonna write debugger. But that's a bit premature, to be honest. Let's see how are we doing on loading this damn thing. Didn't want to load. Why not? No version of Cypress. Are you shitting me? Oh shit, no. That's weird. But I did install everything, didn't I? Okay. No Cypress. Oh fuck. All right. Okay. And so if we go back to this guy, which is the Scream, uh, this push Scream ID. Okay, so how do you use this then? Are you pushing this down to the Scream dialog or what?
Yeah, the Scream dialog is then connected to the state of OpenScream.
Yeah, but okay, but that wasn't really my question at this point. Let me ask you this then: Where is this? Where is this being used? This push
Um,
Scream ID.
Maybe you search for it in the file. I think it's. Let me check what line.
It is used here. On-click button. This push Scream ID. All right.
Yeah, it's actually just a button saying, like a button covering the whole card in the list, and then when you click on that button, then you take the ID that is connected to this card and push it to the global state. So then I can use it there to load the whole data of that idea.
Okay. Right. Right. I need to spin up this application. Otherwise, I can't really. I can't really see this in front of me. To be honest. Right. Okay. So lessons learned so far. It's always hard to work on legacy code, people. And that's one thing. B, less is more. So small components. I would say. I don't know if you agree with me, but small components is better than big components, people. I would also just for for the future, if you have massive CSS, so everything that is loading, it takes up memory always, and it not always computer memory, but also people memory, and it's really hard to read code that is a few hundred lines of code long. So I would definitely um, definitely split things up. I mean, you said you split up the data actions already, which is perfect, fantastic. But all this CSS, it doesn't have to be here. It can be imported, and it doesn't have to be defined in this file. So that would save you a few dozen line of code. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. So you would just start in pushing this into another component stream css.js and then export the.
No, I would just have it in a. First of all, I wouldn't do it like that at all. But if I would do it like this, I would have this in a separate file in a separate folder, and just import it here. If this is where I want to use it. I mean, usually you want to keep them in components, of course. But if the component grows out of proportion, if it's really big, then it's better to separate it, to extract it into a separate file. This is basically an object. Do you understand? There's nothing, uh, you know, this entire object could be. I can show you how you can do this if you want. So here, all of this stuff, all of this, that not this. Where is the end of it? Come on, there. If we X this, and I will just styles or screams. We can call it scream styles. Scream styles like this, right? And then I would just. Do you have like a data folder somewhere? Models, components, no. Or styles folder, utilities. What do we have in utilities? my button theme JS. Yeah, we can do it here. So I can call this guy Scream Styles .js, and here I would just say const Scream Styles equals this, and then export default Scream Styles. Right. Um, there we go. And now I can just close this one, and here I could just say you have the MUI style, okay, and then we can add another import, and we can just call it custom style, and we just import from was it Scream Styles. From util, and util, was it util or what was it? Util, right. Util Scream Styles dot, well, you don't have to say .js. Do you understand? It's more convenient to have it somewhere else instead of having all of them, you know, this massive import, this massive amount of CSS in this particular file, and we just cut away. We did cut away 120 lines of code from this one. Does that make sense?
Yes, completely.
Okay. Does it make sense to the rest of the guys? Are you with us still?
Yes, I think it makes sense. Done, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Daniel. Welcome, by the way. I didn't say hi to you. I'm sorry about that. All right. So let's see where we are on setting this up. Yarn, Cypress. Let's see if that will start the application or not. Right, so we are here, and the only thing you have in state is the cart height. That's in your local state, right? Okay, and then you have the render screen title, constants, classes, user. This is from props. All of this is handled in properties. That's a lot, because that is but this comes from application state, right? This comes from Redux, or where?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And that comes from Redux because you're binding this to from props. Okay. And is this a German word?
Yeah.
Right.
Refresh.
Okay. We should probably avoid having German words as variable names. It can be a bit confusing for non-German speakers. Let's see. Okay, so you're returning null here. So this will never kick in, right? This will never happen, right? On line 81, this null is not supposed to happen.
Yeah, I think actually, this is only if there is no Stadtteil, Stadtteil is district. If it's undefined, then it says refresh the page, because the Stadtteil is something, the district is something that is added to the database like a few minutes after, or like a few seconds after, because it's coming from Python actually, because I didn't get the geocoder to be giving like putting the district.
Okay.
So I
All right. But is this so? So if this is undefined, so if it is undefined, then you do this, right?
yes.
But if it's not undefined, what do you do then?
Then there's the district actually directly in this
Okay.
same.
All right. So I will not make this change, but if usually when you see this in the ternary operator, because which this is, then you don't probably I would go with something like this, and instead of this question mark, you do two end signs, unless you need this for anything, unless you need this null for anything. But I'm a bit afraid to make that change for now, so I won't do it.
But I think that's actually great. Like I didn't know about this technique, so
Yeah, well, we can make this, but I'm just worried that if it breaks something else, then it's counterproductive. So this is basically a ternary operator with only one argument, which is with true. Do you understand? The one with the question mark and provides values for both true or false. And here you don't want to do that unless you have to. Okay, let me see what's going on. Still starting. Now this is not gonna. So I can't really work on this because of the fact that we can't spin up the application. But let's go through this. Comment button. If you're not authenticated, then you show this, and then otherwise you show something else, right? Command button wrapper not authorized. Style project. There's a code repetition here. There's some code repetition here, and you have the comment button and my button. Come on, give me a fucking break. You have a comment button, chat sign note. This is a lot of this code is the same thing, right? The only difference here is the class, right? Because this is the same thing, and the comment button is the same. And the only you don't show this, and that's it, right?
yeah, I think so actually.
Yeah. So this can be changed, of course. We can save ourselves some stuff here. Okay, let me we can let's just say this comment button equals that, and let's just do this and do this, and now we want so this one is conditional, right? Let's go with this. This is the simplest one. So we're just gonna wrap this in curlies. Can't even write any code. What the fuck? And then we just say not authenticated. So we just do this. Not this, but this. Right. And then here class name, and then so we just do our ternary here, authenticated, and that was classes dot comment button authenticated, right?
Comment button wrapper.
Okay. I'm so glad I am not the only one giving my classes long names. Right. Class.
I think go without not authenticated.
Oh, just comment button wrapper, you mean?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Okay, and that was that, and then this, and then that, and then this. Was it anything else? No. Everything else was the same, right? Yep. Okay, so we can remove that. In principle, we'll see, you know. Right. Right. And what do we have here on line 101 now? What is this?
This is actually giving a conditionally a color if one attribute of the data is Rad, or if it's Verkehr, if it's Umwelt und Grün, that's the topics. So if it's topic bicycle, give it a color of this one. If it's Verkehr, so if it's traffic, then this color.
Okay. Okay. So can I ask why you use a series of ternaries?
Well, I didn't know of another option.
Okay. All right. But the and this thema or thema, you know, which I assume is a German word, right?
Yeah, it's actually topic.
Okay, tema. Okay, jag förstår det. I understand. It's actually the same word in Swedish, except the H. But we still okay. So right. So yes, precis så det. So we want to right. So we can do a switch operator here, right? Probably it's a little more readable. Do you know about switch cases? Other switch operators? Any of you?
I think we used it in the reducers, right?
We do often. Do you use switch in reducers, Tassilo?
Yes.
Right. So we can use a switch here as well, right? So we're going to say switch, and then we're going to take a look at the thema, and then I'm going to have a block, and we're going to do we're going to comment out all of this stuff for now. See, when you work with legacy code, refactorings and stuff like that, of course, it is much better if you have a computer where you can actually run some tests and not my shitty equipment, for which I'm very sorry. That's one thing. But the second thing is like, there are many things to think about, but you basically want to change as little as possible and make sure that your code still works, right? But since I can't really spin up this application, so we're coding in blind a little bit here. But of course, when we're done with all of the things, and we're done with tonight's session, I will actually take this for a spin when I'm off camera, so my computer can work with these things. But you try not to delete code so much, but you rather comment it out in the beginning, and then you you make sure that it works, and when it works, you remove the old code, right? Because we are under version control, so you don't have to be worried that, oh, if I delete this, it will be gone forever, because it won't. You can always revert back to another another version, to your previous version. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's at least how I work. So we're gonna say let color new, and so here switch schema, and then we say case. So case case rod, right? Oops. Case rod, and then you just say color new equals, and that was this color, whatever that is. Right. And what does, so we need to have a default. Is there a default color? Is that the default color?
Actually, I think there is no. Yeah, that's like other if no topic is defined.
Yeah. Right.
And I think maybe at the end, probably it's useful if we also have this in another file, because this same thing is used in another component too.
Okay. Well, then we definitely. Therefore, we can definitely extract this. Right. Oh, so you need a break statement. Right. So now this should. No. Yeah. Why are you? Oh, because we need to say color new. Right. Color new equal. Right. So now we're gonna say this, and I'm not saying this is much better solution, but it's a little more readable, I think. You can probably change that to like a modifier or something as well, but it is what it is. And we need another break. Do we really need those fucking breaks? I guess we do. And then we do case Umwelt und Grün, whatever that is. And then we say color new. Right. So if you want to extract this later, we need to rewrite it anyway, because then it needs to return. Here we are assigning values to this, but later we would have to return a value. But we will deal with this later. And then we can remove the breaks, probably. Color new. Why? Oh, see, one missing colon. There we go. Case sports and fritid. Jag ser, Castras, tyska är väldigt likt vårt språk.
Ja, egentlig det er kanskje likt det. Mange år som man ser litt annerledes ut, men
Eller hur? Det är som det är.
Okay, I'll start learning why there's Nordic languages.
That should take you a week or something. No more than a week. You should
4 days with heavy drinking.
With 4 days with heavy drinking, with the Icelandic and Polish vodkas and the Swedish one.
It's a deal.
Hej, godnatt älsklingen. Jag älskar dig.
Jag tar upp min dator och lägger den på laddning.
Vad sa du att?
Jag tar upp min dator och lägger den på laddning.
Gör det. Puss. Sorry, I was sidetracked. What you were saying?
we were talking about heavy drinking.
Oh yeah, of course.
The usual.
The usual, the usual topic, right? So, the last cohort I was working with, Anya, you met them at some point. We were doing some coding late night, and I just jokingly said, you know what, guys, we were working remote, and I said, why don't we just have a drink? And I poured myself, I think it was a gin tonic or something, and then that was fairly early on in the course, and then they started to drink so much they were drunk every night. I didn't code with them every night, but they were constantly late for morning meetings because they were hangover. So
That's called online socializing.
yeah,
Efficient.
and it was my fault because I was the one who introduced them to the idea of having drinks. Right.
Guilty.
I know. That's
But I guess they did some awesome networking,
They did. Three of them formed a company afterwards, actually.
Nice.
Yeah.
Castras, you're in.
You're in.
Yeah. Just what time?
So
Early morning tomorrow.
yeah, exactly. Before lunch. So what component are these being used in also? Tesla?
And also in stream dialogue, I think.
Oh,
Not
so
only,
there's okay.
or maybe even also the map too.
Once again?
I think even in more components. I think in 4 in total in the map.
Oh. Okay, so we will extract that actually. So perhaps well, you know what? Let's extract it directly. Then we can right, right. So and they also always called color new. It doesn't really matter, but are they, or do you use other?
Yeah, they're also called like that, I think, but
Right.
doesn't matter.
So right. Let's fuck, motherfucker. Let's extract that. Let's just do this, and we just say let color new equals set color or by topic. Is it theme is topic, right? So we're gonna say topic, and then we will just pass in the theme. Well, that theme, all right. That's what we're gonna do, and we're gonna go to utilities, and we're gonna create a new file. And we're gonna call it set color by topic.js, and then we're just gonna say const set color by topic equals theme. We'll take one argument, boom, 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 and then we just do very simply return color new, but we need to define that first here. Let color new. Perhaps, you know what, I'm gonna call it color.
Color, yeah.
Right. And then we just return color. And then we just do export default set color by topic. By topic. There we go. Set color by topic. Right. Set color by topic. Set color by topic. Constant. Nothing really weird. Okay. So let's do that. And then in this Scream, we need to import this guy, of course. So I don't know, components, timestamp, relative time, Redux, icons, imports, data, right. So we can create a new one. Utilities, I don't know, import set color by topic from utils, set color by topic. This should work if this path is okay. I usually get it is okay because I see that you imported it here from this place, so we should be okay with that. So now we have a little less, even less code. This else block here that is commented out, do you need it for anything?
No, I don't think so.
Then off it goes. But let color, so we saved ourselves a little bit of thing, class name, authenticated, right. Okay, the next one, project data final. So this will not change anymore, so I can set const on this. Right. And here we do this. And then you say, so we have an array, projects data final is an empty array, and if projects data, and project data is getting from state, from application state, or
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Project data array is project state. Right. If there is, why are you changing this back? I mean, if you already have,
So
yeah.
So what's happening is like every idea, or in this case, Scream, has an ID of a project, or like all the ideas that are connected to a project have an ID of the project, and I want to show in the card the name of the project, not the ID. Therefore, I'm looking up the within all the projects that are there if it matches to the ID, and then
Gotcha.
I take.
Gotcha. No. I understand that, but that was really my question. Well, if I understand, it doesn't matter if I do. But you create an empty array here on 106, right? And then you are checking whether there is a project's data, and then you set that to the project's data. Oh no, project's data final. Okay, no. Okay, now I see. Oh, sorry. But nonetheless, if you were making a check here, if you have project's data, why do you? I'm just curious. Why not iterate over project data? Why do you want to iterate over project's data array? Why this line?
I actually asked myself this question too, if this is even necessary, but
I don't think this is necessary. So I think we can just we can just iterate directly over project data, because there is no need for us to do this, right? So we can remove this. Do you understand? It's one less line of code. This will do the same thing. And also, is there a case where this is not present at all? Like,
yeah, before loading, like if it would happen before the project data is there.
but is there a default state on project data? Like, could this be an empty array? in state.
Mm,
Or
yeah.
so my question is, before you populate it with some data, is it defined like an empty array, or is it only created in state
Yeah.
when you populate it?
I think there is an initial state, but I had this problem often that even though there's initial state, it says like there's no project data or like no value defined. Mm.
Okay, okay, I got
Because
you.
like, it says here, like it takes the project data for each element, but like what if it's an empty array? Then there's no each element.
Well, but it doesn't
Or
matter. You can always do a for each on an empty array. That's not a problem. This for each will render an error if this project data is not defined as an array. But you can, there's nothing to prevents you from trying to iterate over an empty array. Do you understand?
okay.
But let's keep this conditional here. I'm just worried, like if you need those conditionals, then there's something. Usually, it's an indication for me at least that there's something wrong with state management somewhere. But I don't mind having that. But if you can avoid it, you can avoid it, right? But then so you iterate over and you get the element project data and then element projects data element. What is element? I mean, why did you call it element and not project, for instance?
Yeah, you could call it that too, I
Well,
think.
because it has project, so it has a. Okay, right. So this is definitely an example where I would love to be able to just have this thing up and running, so I could, right, and that didn't even work for me. Arrow timed out. Anyway, because this is like a good example of where I would love to have a debugger, so I can spin up this application and really get a feel for what sort of data it is. Then I could work better with the naming. But it's okay, this is okay. Um, uh, and then you have the project title.
But one question about that before, like, do you think that is actually the right way to connect the title of the project or of whatever to an item of a long list? Because it's actually not so, maybe not good in terms of performance because it iterates over every single card, saying like, does
Ah,
this card have an ID? Ah, it has an ID. Look for all the projects. Ah, okay, it matches. Okay, give this a title. Next card. Hmm. Is
ah,
there an ID?
okay. So, oh yeah. Well, you can filter or you can do whatever. So project data is not only. So this is a singleton. Like the scream is about one specific instance of something that is connected to a project. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, like there's this list of right now 217 cards.
Mm.
So 217 times this element is shown. So 217 times this one is
Oh
looking
shit. Okay.
for.
Okay. 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 That's a bit of a problem. So why don't you just so so where is so scream is rendered somehow and you have the scream. So why don't you pass in the project directly or as a property direct, from scratch, you know,
What do you mean? How?
like when Scream.js is being rendered, why doesn't Scream either take this as a property, like the project ID or something? Yeah, then we can just fetch that from state, or I mean, okay, so shit, how can I formulate that question so I understand myself? Uh, when you use Scream.js, this component, you are at that stage you are iterating over something, right, in order to display it, or how is it displayed? How do you use it? Where in the code is Scream.js, this Scream component being rendered from?
Um, from home, and from yeah, I think only from home. And pages. Don't look at home. It's huge.
Okay, all right.
But it's actually only like map, scream, and then yeah, show every screen.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's like the function
Mm.
map
Okay, but so let me see. Where is the home component? Where is that?
in pages.
In pages. Where the fuck is pages?
Down.
Down, down.
Oh, no, up again.
There it is.
There.
Right.
I think you're gonna scream now. This one has.
Prop types connect. Okay, so you get the screams, which I understand is called somewhere. So you import them from actions. Your tiny humans are making. That's stress. Yeah, Anya,
Shit.
will you be streaming tomorrow?
I'm not
She
sure
needs
yet.
to. She hasn't been a stream.
Yeah, I know.
It's
But
hard.
just
I have to focus on work.
how can you work? No. I'm not sure, but I know that I will return to normal.
Next week.
Yeah, most
Okay, then.
probably, yeah.
But I will catch the rest of this on YouTube then when it's uploaded.
Sure.
Yeah.
We don't have much time left. You know, I'm gonna
No
quit
problem.
on. Thank you very much. Ha det så bäst, Kastras.
Jag har det.
Ha det. Hej. So it's funny because Kastras, he speaks Norwegian with an Icelandic accent. That's fantastic. I've lived in Norway long time ago. Right, that's a lot of stuff in state here. And why? Yeah, right. Just this props get stream. So you're executing this in your constructor. Okay. May I ask why are you doing this here and not in component did mount?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
But this
That's
component mount, like I thought component did mount is a little later than constructor
yeah,
because it's
it is later than
mounted.
constructor. But the question is, do you need to do it in the constructor? Perhaps you do. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's the first, like, it's the thing that takes the longest from the application. So I think the earlier the better, no?
Could be. Okay, but anyway, get screams, and so we're using that there. Screams for the, yeah, you have the prop types. Oh, right. That's very ambitious to work with strong typing. Map action to props. Get streams. Okay, so you're doing that here. And so, right. But okay, so this props get screams, and use.
One question about the prop types. Do you think it's like, why is it ambitious, or is it not necessary? Should we take it out?
I never work with strong typing, and Mirsad hates me for it. So he thinks I'm an amateur or something. I don't know. But no, I don't. Yeah, I mean, no, well, in look, if you ask somebody else, they will say you always have to work with strong typing, and I say I never, well, I rarely do, and I get by anyway. So strong typing in this case is great if you accidentally pass in some data that is of a different type and that causes you errors, right? But you can fix that in a different way than just constantly checking for type. Um, so that's why I said it's ambitious, because to my understanding, you're fairly new at this programming business, right? Uh, so I'm just surprised to see that in a code base written in this way. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if it makes sense, but I wouldn't, if I would have written this, I wouldn't have used strong typing, probably. Uh, right, right. So here are the screams, right? So you have screams, and you're iterating over this, and you're checking if it's checked or not.
The check is actually the filter. Like I'm filtering in the front end.
Right. 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 So yeah. Uh, so as a piece of a, just as a comment, a general comment. So Tassila, what worries me a little bit with this code, from what I'm seeing, because we're in a training program, so I can say this to you, like there's a lot of inconsistency here, right? So here you're using, in the previous example that we just refactored, you were using nested ternaries, right? Which is just another form of an if statement. Here you're using if statements instead. Do you understand? So that kind of indicates that that there's an ambiguity, like the lack of consistency. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
You should probably look at that from that perspective as well, and this goes out to the other guys as well, of course, because consistency is really important, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah, I
right.
think I'm really pretty sure like this is something that I did in the beginning where I didn't know that you can write an
Gotcha.
question mark
Gotcha.
or
Gotcha. Ternary. Yeah, it's called ternary operators. Absolutely. If loading and screams length, if the screams length is 0, then you do this and null again. So this is also an example of how you can just redo this, because you probably will never use this null for anything, right? If you do, then you just refactor back to that. We can do that later. Right, but whoops. Wow, a big chunk of commented out code. Let's see. Get screams. Right.
I was wrong. I was wrong. It's in the all ideas page. It's in main components. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. Right.
There
Let's.
was a home until
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, but yeah, in main
Right.
components.
Right. There are main components. Right. And that was ideas, or which one?
Yeah, ideas.
All ideas. Right. Lamp loader.
And then in line 102.
Right. What's all this? Right. This is discouraging. Useless constructor. So you can remove that altogether. No need to have that around. Oh shit, man. Rent the cost. Right. Right. This
I'm
proves.
sorry.
No. It's okay. It's okay. No, but so I
But
hopefully so guys, so here's the deal. Just so you understand, just because I'm making sounds or giving Tesla some feedback on his code, a it's the code. It's not Tesla. First of all, this is really important to make the distinction. You are not your code, so you don't have to make any excuses. And I totally buy into what you're saying, Tassilo. You say I didn't know better, or I just started out. That's perfectly okay. So don't never worry about that. Uh, that's one thing. Then of course, you know, uh, it's my prerogative as everybody else to have opinions, of course, right? And I can share them, but I'm really trying, and I hope it comes across. I'm not shitting on you as a person. If I say that this code is hard to work with, it's because it's hard to work with, and that's it, right? It's not. It doesn't mean anything else. Does that make sense, Tassilo?
yeah, definitely,
Good.
definitely. I'm just still, I'm a little bit ashamed of the
No,
coding
no, no,
style.
no, 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 no. Look.
You should see what I wrote in the past.
And I can show you some code that I wrote a few years back, or even a few months ago, and it's. So don't worry about it. Carl, you raise your hand.
No, that was a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Okay, that was a thumbs up. Good
Thumbs up.
stuff. All right. So
I think there is not even a hands in Slack, right? Raising hand.
there must be something like that. I don't know. Right.
It's a
So
bit weird. It's like it's also just like with the thumbs up, there is a hand, but it's not like the other one that has a dedicated raised hand button.
Yeah, true.
I did a hands up, thumbs up now. I think. Yeah. There you go. All right. There should be more of these reactions here, but anyway, all right. And now you're using Lodash all of the sudden. That's fantastic. That's that's good. Order by data like count.
Good.
Yeah, that's good. That's
What
Lodash
is it
is,
actually?
huh?
What is it actually? Like,
It's an extension to JavaScript that makes it, bearable. Uh, no, it's a really good thing. It's a set of commands that makes JavaScript more like Python and Ruby. So I like it a lot. Uh, I will send you guys a link to that into the documentation. Well, it's very easy. It's uh, uh, ludash.com. This is it's an extension, and it's included in React by default, I think. Um, and it brings a lot of convenience methods to the table. Uh, for
mm,
instance, like
I
the
think
one that you're using here, order by. This is not a JavaScript method; it's a Ludash thing. Sorry, I cut
Oh,
you off.
Thomas. Oh,
Tassilo, you were saying?
mm, I was just saying, I think it's not included in React. I had to install it.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. Uh, right. Yeah, Carl, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, Thomas, how did you first come across Lodash? And I was also gonna assume now if it was in React, but how did you come across Lodash?
You see, Carl, I have hard time sleeping um, at night. So sometimes I just wake up in the middle of the night and I can't fall asleep again. So I go out to my computer and I read a lot of code. That's what I do. And I read a lot of documentation, and then I just stumbled upon it, and then I thought it was interesting, so I downloaded it and played around with it in my Node console. And that's, but then I started to use it because I thought it was nice and it brought some Ruby flavor to JavaScript.
Yeah, that's interesting. Were you reading like other projects to try and?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I read a lot of legacy code. Um, I read a lot. I can, yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, right, there's a lot of commented out code here. But guys, we're nearing the end of today's session. I don't know if you learned anything from this one today, apart from that reading through legacy code um, can be tiresome sometimes, and also that if there's a lot of commented out code, you can just delete it. um, you know.
And that reading through legacy code can be enlightening if you come across things like Lodash.
Exactly. And also, um, and you so look, um, by reading somebody else's code in small chunks or in big chunks, line by line. So reading code is a skill in itself, because sometimes people think that they can read through some code just by skimming over it, and that usually, skimming over code can give you a general idea of what the code is supposed to do or does, but reading code is a line by line kind of thing. You have to really carefully read through stuff, and if you do, then you can really learn a lot. And one of the first things that I read in every project that I examine is the package JSON file, uh, to see what sort of dependencies they are using. And in Rails, it's called a gem file. So I just check the dependencies, and then try to find some interesting modules and things like that. And I think it was yesterday. Uh, I was reading through a project that I've been involved in, and I found this fantastic method that was turning. Like it helped to turn certain characters or certain expressions into Boolean, like true or false. So we extended the Boolean class. This was in Ruby, and the funny thing is, just a few weeks ago, I was facing that problem, and I wrote another method that was much more complicated, and so I learned something from this, or so I thought, because then I was in that code. I was reading that code on GitHub, so I just clicked on the git blame, just to see who wrote that code, and it was actually me 6 years ago who wrote that. So I found it. I thought it was great, and said that, oh, I wish I knew this 2 weeks ago, but apparently six years ago I already knew about this, but then I forgot. So forgetting is also a part of life. I don't know if there's a moral to this story, but that's what happens sometimes. This worries me a little bit. Why are we getting a warning on this one? This worries me a little bit. Are you getting a something red here on your version of the code, Tassilo?
I actually never saw red code. Like, I don't have that.
Well,
But also, for me, it doesn't. It's not red.
okay.
Thomas, this reminds me when we were doing the working on Redux and stuff. You also had weird things happening with the fragment shortcut that was being displayed weird. Could it just be your editor?
Could be. It could definitely be that. Anyways,
Do you remember?
Yeah, I do, and I think that could definitely be exactly that problem. So, but you know what? What we're gonna do now is to git status, and we see that we changed a few things. Untracked files, scream styles, right? So git add, and then I'm just gonna go git ciam, and then I will say adds, or first of all, it's a VIP adds feature for testing the scream dialog log, and then sidetracked to by sidetrack to refactor some code in all ideas page and scream components. Right. Right. Okay. So git push origin open there, and now just gonna create a work in progress PR. If anybody wants to pull this down and work on this, it's perfectly fine, of course. I don't feel overly productive today in any way, shape or form, but at least I got to hear my own voice a little bit. So no, I'm kidding. No, but it's hard to work when you don't have good enough equipment. And I know I've been bitching about this for quite a few sessions, and I'm trying to do something about it, but I have limited success so far. But I'll try to do better. At this point, I can't even open up a fucking web page. So yeah, sounds great. But guys, it's gonna do it for us. I'm gonna try to be around this weekend. I can't promise, but yeah, I will update the description later on. But yeah, I will also try to put together more extensive curriculum with a more detailed plan for the remaining of the training program, so we can create more, so to have more structure in this whole thing. And I will also start sending out some written materials to you guys, so you can read up a little bit in advance, if that is okay. But for now, thank you very much, guys, and I see you this weekend or Tuesday.
It may have been painful for you, but it's good to see you go through the refactoring process, because it's very scary to us, maybe.
And
so, yeah.
And it is scary for me too.
Good. May we all be scared.
Yeah. No, but seriously, it is a bit scary to do this kind of thing. So no, don't sweat too much over this, guys. Small steps.
Awesome.
The important thing is take small steps and just make them happen. And if you do,
Perfect.
then after a while, there will become big steps. All right.
Awesome.
Have a fantastic evening, guys.
Thank you. You too. Thank you so much again.
Thank you so much for everything.
Stay